3 o'clock, good to have you aboard. Odyssey.com Rewind. We talked a little bit about College Game Day, Fox Big Noon Kickoff, and, kind of where you're at with pregame shows. And look, they've made some bold hires. Dave Portnoy, Pat McAfee. Does it bring you closer, push you further away? Moving our attention, just a couple of notes here. A, thank God. I'd waited for this day for so long. Tommy DeVito, no longer a New York Giant. See you later. Up next, take that cartoon character agent of yours and ban him from MetLife. He's an embarrassment to all Italian people.
Wait. So does that mean
what?
That this guy made the team?
Famous?
David?
Yes.
Yes!
Yeah.
You know what? That's an upgrade.
That's a win. We're good. Also, yesterday we talked a little bit about, the end of the Hendon Hooker era. And some people were a little bent out of shape, third-round pick. We could have got something else. Hey, you know what? At least he was here for 3 years. The Jets have just released their second-round pick from last year. Oh, my God. Malachi Corley, the receiver out of Western Kentucky.
Yeah. Picked
him 65th overall. Gone. Released today. Nice job, Jets. Really, really doing the Lord's work.
Not to hijack it. Did you talk about how Cookies is still defending the Hendon Hooker pick?
We talked about Cookies.
He defended it this morning.
He defended it this morning.
Yes.
See, we had David do a dramatic reading of his Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
What did he say this morning?
It was just saying that, at the time, it was a great pick because we didn't know what Goff was going to be.
You took a 30-year-old on a peg leg from a non-NFL style offense while you already had a quarterback playing Pro Bowl football. Yeah. Go ahead and defend that. That's good. Superb. So let's move along. I want to bring this up. First of all, Taylor Swift's engaged. I don't care. You can't go anywhere and avoid it. Anywhere.
Who's she getting engaged to?
It's just my whole point is it's like the cover of ESPN, and it's like, guys, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Then newspaper, you can't escape it. Fine enough. I'll just live in my bubble. I want to bring up the pressure index here because I think this is really interesting. If we aggregate and we take Sharon Moore, Jonathan Smith, and then I want to take both new coordinators, John Morton, the OC, and Kelvin Shepard, the DC for the Lions. I don't want to know whether you think a certain coach is under pressure. I want to know who's under the most pressure to perform this year. With Sharon Moore, you're at Michigan. Massive brand. You got a $15 million quarterback, and you're coming off a bad season. There's no other way to put it. Jonathan Smith. All right, you're a fish out of water. Nobody knows who you are. Last year was disappointing. I'm not going to call it a total disaster, but it was disappointing. It was.
Yes, very.
You seemingly had some money in NIL to retain your players, including pay your quarterback $1 million a year.
And you also have a brand new athletic director who has no ties to you.
There you go. And it's time. You got to, it's show or go. John Morton, you're taking over for Ben Johnson. You have all the candy, but you have an offensive line that looks in transition. And then Kelvin Shepard, which is everyone said if we're healthy, we win. All right, well, you're healthy now. Are you sure you're as good as Aaron Glenn? And you have no Aleem McNeil probably until the month of November. So I'm asking you guys, if I don't need a ranking, I just need you to tell me who is under the most pressure. That if they don't perform this year, they may not be here next year.
Yep.
248-539-9797.
Mike, for me, it's John Morton. Because you're replacing Ben Johnson, because the standards are so high here in Detroit for this Detroit Lions team, because people still chant Jared Goff's name, because you have all of these top 100 players on offense, because everything is all there for you. If you're John Morton, you're basically playing the role of stepdad this year. And the last thing you want to hear is Lions fans saying, "You're not my real daddy." Ben Johnson was. Ben Johnson can do it. How come you can't do this? Ben was running trick plays. Ben was running touchdown plays. Ben was making going to games fun. Now look at this team. They're struggling to score. I think Morton has the most pressure on him because expectations are through the roof for this Lions team. Now, the others have pressure. Shepard, because the defense was already so decimated, I think people are just happy that Aiden is back. And for Moore, I think that And David, tell me if I'm wrong, but I
Smart.
think most Michigan fans realize you have a freshman quarterback and you have to lower the standards. You cannot walk in here thinking we're going to win the Natty. David, stop me if I'm wrong.
Do they realize that?
You're stopping me. Okay.
I thought he was Jesus. That's what I thought he was.
Okay.
I don't know if Michigan fans have lowered the bar. I think they've raised the bar. You're supposed to be this. You're supposed to be that. I don't know if they've lowered that bar on Bryce.
But to me, yeah, Morton is the guy. And for Jonathan Smith, I think most State fans are just show me what you could do at the end of the season. I have no ties to you. If you're bad, you can go. And I'll just say this was a fever dream, plain and simple. But Morton, to me, is that guy because that offense was one of the best offense. It was pacing with the greatest show on turf last year. And if you take a step back, we're going to find out whether it was Goff or whether it was Ben Johnson. And you don't want to find out that it was actually Ben Johnson.
It's a pretty compelling case. And the NFL moves pretty quick. You're a coordinator, you don't do well, you're gone. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, they're all under pressure. You don't attain these jobs without it. It's just who's under the most. Rico says John Morton. I'm not going to put up a huge fight. I mean, look, would Michigan or Michigan State really make a move? I mean, look, if Michigan went 6-6, I don't know. Would you? I leave that to you guys. What is Sharon Moore exactly?
Would it be 6-6 and we're just going to make you the fall guy for all of this stuff?
I mean, I don't imagine they go 6-6. Their schedule's a joke. For Michigan State, I don't know. I mean, J-Bat didn't hire him, but it's also financially injurious to let go of a guy after 2 years. But I'm with you in that, like, I like Jonathan Smith, but he was not a fit here. This is just I made this comment yesterday, and I think you would have agreed if you were here. Is like he wasn't ready for this.
No.
And he certainly wasn't ready for the rivalry.
No.
If they go out and miss a bowl this year, you're fired. You're
Jonathan,
fired.
Yeah, Mike, to me, Jonathan Smith, and I hope he does well, but he kind of looks like the guy who knew that, you know what, my company is closing, so I'm going to take the first job offered to me, and then 2 weeks later realize his dream jobs opened up, but he had already accepted the Michigan State job. When the UCLA job and the Washington Huskies job both opened up, I think he would have been happier on the West Coast than he is now, but he had already moved his family.
Yeah, but and again, is there? Hey, if you think one of these guys isn't under any pressure, maybe you think Sharon Moore's under none. I mean, let's face it. Like, it takes a lot to get fired there. Case in point, Ward Manuel has a job. Guy's got 8 million scandals, and he won AD of the year. Okay, I don't know. But I think there's immense pressure when you're at a legacy program, a blue blood program. Like, if you're Michigan, while I admit a freshman QB is a limiter, you can't have a year like last year, right?
You can't, and that's why I asked, hey, David, tell me if I'm wrong, that I do think that, look, we make fun of Michigan fans, but I think most Michigan fans are smart enough to know it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve.
They were very
with this
reasonable
young man. And
they were about Bryce. They were great yesterday.
Here's what I really don't want to happen. Don't turn on this young man. If he has a bad game or two,
Sparty,
ride it out and let this guy do his thing, because next year is where you'll reap the benefits. Next year is where you'll become that team.
I feel like you listened yesterday.
Well,
No, it's like we're
first-time caller, long-time
synced
listener.
up. No, I made the point of Lenora Sellers and DJ Lagway last year. They got baptism by fire. But now this year, you talk about Sellers and Lagway as Heisman Trophy guys and playoff guys. That's the same thing for Bryce Underwood. Survive this year, learn, and next year, I think you have every right to talk about being all the way back. But in the short term,
well, that's just like Michigan fans eat their young. They eat the quarterbacks like, this guy is going to, Joe Milton is going to do all that, and then he loses. Well, Joe Milton's a bum. Oh, Shane Morris, he's the first 6-star quarterback until he wasn't. It's like every guy that comes in with the accolades, as soon as they have a bad game or two, he's a bum. And this kid is not. Just temper your expectations.
248-539-9797. Of the 4 coaches we listed, Sharon Moore, Jonathan Smith, John Morton, and Kelvin Shepard, which one is under the most pressure? It's a very simple question. If you don't like that, we'll come back with Kenny's favorite chowder, and you guys can call in on that. Don't know what to tell you.
Chicken corn chowder.
Exactly that. 248-539-9797.